But we're going to hop into the next segment. New faces, new places. And Ty, I know Andy put this one at the top of the list, and this is for you. I know you're going to be happy. I'm going to give you a little introduction to this. Are you ready for it?
Yep. Is this William Regal?
The King, Derrick Henry, lands in Baltimore. And I know this is, Andy put this first. I know he did it for you.
I did.
How do you feel about the King in Baltimore? What can we expect? And I know Muscles is shaking his head over there. He's disgusted. What about the King, Ty?
Huge year coming. I think it's coming. I think he's going to have an absolute blazer of a year. Running back 8 last year on Tennessee. Tennessee was absolutely horrible. The guy's still staying healthy to a degree. I mean, he didn't even miss a game last year. I know he's 30 years old now, but whenever you say unicorn, I think Derrick Henry's a unicorn too. He just seems like a guy that's just never going to slow down. I know his numbers weren't as good as they were in previous years, but still super, super impressive on such a bad team. And now going to Baltimore, we've seen it for years. Everybody runs good in Baltimore. Everybody. There isn't a player that doesn't run good. And
besides Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. Besides Dalvin Cook. But
Dalvin Cook 2.0 right here.
Don't ever say that
again. You should have seen Ty's face.
Again, you just slapped him. But they don't really have much behind him. I mean, Keaton Mitchell coming off devastating injury, and Justice Hill, he might get a little bit, but not much. They're going to really lean on the King. They got a brutal schedule. They're really going to lean on him. And I just think Derrick Henry's in for a huge year. I could easily see a top 5 finish this year. I think he's going to get that much usage and that many touchdowns, and definitely going over 1,000 yards, no doubt.
So we started on the North Pole with Ty. Let's go to the South Pole with Muss here, because I know Muscles is shaking his head. He's disgusted by this. What do you think about the King here, Muss?
Yeah, I think one thing I kind of always forgot with the King was, like, he didn't run at first. Like, remember with Tennessee? Like,
DeMarco Murray, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Was it DeMarco?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was DeMarco.
Yeah, but there was like 3 years where, like, he didn't, and like then he showed a little bit, and then like they sat him again.
Yeah,
like remember that?
I
like,
do.
We
remember
just started
that.
playing Dynasty, and we were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, because what reminds me of Derrick Henry is that Jacksonville 99-yard touchdown run.
Yeah,
you guys remember that?
Yeah.
I think it was 99. It was really long.
Yeah, it was really long. But I don't know. I mean, that whole Tennessee thing last year kind of did scare me when they like sat him and then they ran Tajay. I don't know what the deal was
because they knew they weren't going to bring him back, and they're trying to
been.
get Tajay used to the usage.
I was just saying it kind of did scare me, but I mean, you're right. They did upgrade. I mean, he's running behind Baltimore's line now, and nobody behind him, so he should have a good year. But how many years did he sign there? Just one?
Two.
Yeah, I think it was a 2-year.
And I will say this, Ty did say, too, about how bad Tennessee's defense was last year, giving up points. They weren't able to really run Henry like they used to in the past. I mean, he did say that as well.
He hasn't had a season with under 4 yards a carry. I mean, 1,100 yards last year, 12 touchdowns. He was catching the football last year. He's kind of added that into his game. Not a crazy amount, but still a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I kind of changed my mind on Derrick Henry, honestly, like, because I don't know. I thought this was kind of overrated at first, but you look, Gus over 4 yards per carry, Justice Hill over 4 yards per carry, Keaton Mitchell had like 8 yards per carry. So, like, I think it's all safe to say Derrick Henry's better than all of them guys.
Oh, probably combined.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, maybe even combined at 30 years old. So,
and I'm glad we brought this up, because this is a guy that just because of his age, he is falling down the boards a little bit. Could be a really nice value if you're going win now.
My thing's just, can he hold up at 30 years old? I mean, he's shown it so far. You know, besides really the 1 year where what do you have something with his foot? Is it a Liz Frank? Or
I believe it was something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, he did show a little bit of slowdown there, but with this line, this is a very big upgrade for a guy like Derrick Henry. And I was a little bit worried about the usage, and Harbaugh came out and said, like, hey, we want to run this guy. Like, we've seen what he did at Tennessee, and that's how we want to use him. So, just can he hold up?
So here's the one thing I will say, though. It's like, okay, so you can go out and pay a first for him now.
Mhm.
Is there anything he can do throughout the season that
Absolutely. I know where you're going.
he would be worth any more than a first?
No.
Absolutely not. That's why
Exactly.
you wait for these
Yep.
guys. And I wanted to, that's a great point because I wanted to talk about this. Like,
yeah,
there's certain guys here, like, you're not getting 2 firsts for Derrick Henry. You might not
No.
even have to pay a first for him.
no,
If I could pay a second, I would. But, like, my thing is, like you said, Moss, wait till the deadline. Like,
yeah,
the only way that you're going to have to pay a little more, and even a contender still might do it, is if they have him as a contender and they're like,
right.
they're like, hey, I'm going to win it. Like, you need to massively overpay to get him.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
yeah, I mean,
Like he could come out at the deadline and be running back 1 overall,
and you're still only
you're
paying
still
that
going to
first.
only pay a first, I bet. So that's the only.
And if he were to get hurt, then you lost all your value.
Look at Raheem Mostert. He
Yep.
came out last year, was like running back 2 or something at the
Yeah.
deadline.
Yeah.
What did he fetch? Like
a second?
A second.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So-
like, that's where I'm saying with Derrick Henry, like, I wouldn't go crazy right now.
Mm-mm.
I would wait because, like, let's say he does have Liz Frank injury. Then that Derrick Henry owner, guess what? He's stuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. You
You're
don't got to
not.
worry about it.
Yeah.
And it could be the Dalvin Cook situation. Like, I don't think it will
I don't
be.
think it will.
But if he gets hurt, I mean,
if you don't have him, let the Derrick Henry owner assume all responsibility right now.
I love that, Muss. Then we learned this off the Darren Waller stuff.
Yep.
Like, we wanted to go
Allen
out.
Robinson. Look
Yeah.
at Allen Robinson. As soon as he went to Rams, everybody was like, "Oh, first round pick,
Yep.
Allen Robinson," and then he didn't do shit.
Yep. And then you got stuck with him.
Yep.
So.
Yep, this is a good deadline move, and I do think in startups it's a very nice
Yeah.
target.
Yeah.
I mean, especially later in draft.
What is he, like the 10th round?
Oh,
or something?
something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I get him every draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ty.
Yeah.
I think Ty is like what, in 14 leagues or 20 leagues. You have him in like every one of them.
Almost.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good investment, really. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep, for sure.